वेलकम बैक फ्रेंड्स। सो यहाँ पे इम्पॉर्टेंट अपडेट है दैट इज़ रिलेटेड टू द हॉनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया MC Singla case. So arguments in brief. So yesterday we have shared this update friends, but because of some technical problems अपडेट उतनी अच्छी वे से नहीं डली. सो यहाँ पे वी हैव टू recreate the instance. Argument in brief. Appellant side in MC Singla. Punjab and Haryana High Court had come to the wrong conclusion that small committee minutes are only parlous before agreement, and the final agreement came in the form of pension regulations, so which do not have provision for updation. The draft pension regulations signed by both sides is the final agreement on pension scheme, and the clause on updation as per the RBI formula is found on this document. So in the small committee, 7 points were discussed and consensus was reached for their inclusion in the regulations. So all the 7 except the one relating to pension updation in line with the RBI formula was included in the regulations. So the agreement reached on updation could not be included in the regulations, as agreements of general nature devoid of specifics have no place in legislation. So RBI did not have updation in their scheme, and therefore no formula for updation was available. So a clause similar to as and when RBI updates the pension of its employee, pension of bank pensioners will be updated adopting the same formula of Reserve Bank of India cannot fit into the regulations. So for this reason, other clauses number 6 in the pension settlement on DA as per the RBI formula, clause number 15 of the settlement. So the agreement reached on updation could not be included in the regulation as agreement of general nature devoid of specifics. So this point we have covered. So the promissory next is promissory estoppel. So employees joined the pension scheme by opting out of the PF scheme, relying on the pension scheme 1993 and the subsequent minutes of small committee which provides for updation. So banks are bound by these premises, and therefore updation of pension should be implemented. So in the settlement entered into for the removal of clause on forfeiture of service for participating in illegal strike, IBA have agreed that bank pension scheme is exactly same as RBI pension scheme. As RBI has updated pension of its employees, banks also have to update the pension of its employees with the same formula. In Sanjeeva A and ARN versus Union of India and ANR, Government of India had submitted in the Karnataka High Court that the last date for joining the pension scheme was decided in the small committee, and it was not fixed by the government, by the bank or the government, and therefore pensioners cannot join the pension scheme after the last date so fixed. So in view of the admission, banks and governments are bound by other arguments reached in the small committee, including the argument on updation. So government banks cannot approbate and reprobate. So IBA has been denying updation on the plea that bank pension scheme is funded scheme while government scheme is run on the budgetary funds allocation. So all the expenditure in government including pension expenditure is done through budgetary allocations. So budgetary allocation is neither unlimited nor without constraints. So in both the system the expenditure is treated as revenue. So expenditure. So both the schemes are defined benefits non-contributory scheme. So pension fund of banks are not fixed funds. So banks have undertaken to contribute the required funds to meet all the obligations. The only difference between the two schemes is in banks are funded. A pension fund is built up while in the government scheme budgetary allocation of funds is made every year. So building up a pension fund has distinct advantage over the budgetary allocations. So method of funding does not make the government scheme less burdensome, and building up of pension fund by banks do not make the pension scheme more burdensome. So denying updating citing methods of funding is untenable. So this is very important here. So kindly share कर देना दोस्तों अपडेट को. So hopefully चैनल को भी यहाँ पे शेयर कर देना फॉर द लेटेस्ट बैंकिंग एंड पेंशन.